iPhone 8 ear speaker replacement guide. For this replacement, we're going to need a Y-tip 00 or 000 screwdriver, a basic Phillips head 00 or 000 screwdriver, a pentalobe proprietary screwdriver, a set of tweezers, a plastic prying tool for prying connections apart, a suction cup for prying the screen apart, as well as a triangular plastic tool and also a metallic tool to pry the screen apart. Go ahead and power down the phone if you haven't powered it down yet. Make sure it's completely off. Now, near the charging port, locate the two pentalobe screws and use the pentalobe screwdriver to remove the two screws. If the screen is badly damaged, use a piece of packing tape to create a nice and smooth surface for the suction cup to get suction. Without the smooth surface, the suction cup won't be able to get grip and it won't work as intended. Place the suction cup as close as you can to the home button. Now go ahead and pick up the phone and pinch it from both sides with your fingers and tug on the suction cup as you see here. Now take the metallic prying tool or any sharp tool, you could use a utility knife if you had to, and just sneak it in right below the home button. Make sure to go really gently and slightly in, and then tilt it left to right to get the separation going. The screen is glued in around the edge with waterproof tape. Use the plastic pick to separate the screen once you got the crack going, because you don't want to scratch up the phone frame with the metallic tool. Now run down the pick on both sides. Something to note, make sure not to go too deeply in, because on the right side of the phone there are two cable connections that are extremely fragile. If you go too deep in, you can damage them. Once both sides are separated, go ahead and tilt the screen left to right to loosen up the top just a little bit. Now what you want to do is you want to take the plastic pick and try to separate the top portion. If that doesn't work out, go ahead and use the sharper one. Be careful, you can scratch up the frame here, so go really slow. Use the sharp metallic tool to make the separation up top and separate the tape. Now go ahead and just crack it open and it should fold out just like a book. There are two connections on the right side. You want to fold it out gently, you don't want to damage those connections. Okay, now we need to separate the phone from the screen. We'll start with the top camera connection cable. Go ahead and remove the shield that's secured with 3 Phillips head screws. Remove the 3 Phillips head screws as shown. Then you can gently lift up and move the shield out of the way. That will expose the camera connection. With a plastic prying tool, go ahead and just pop it up from underneath and it should come right out. Now go ahead and shift down to the second connection. That's guarded by a shield that's secured with 4 Phillips head screws. Go ahead and remove those 4 Phillips head screws. Make sure to keep the screw position when you lay them out, because they're different sizes. Now go ahead and remove the shield. With a plastic prying tool, go ahead and undo the LCD connection or the screen connection, and now go ahead and undo the digitizer ribbon cable. The screen is now separated. Now to remove the components from the screen, go ahead and locate the top of the screen and remove the 3 Phillips head screws that are securing the bracket that holds the ear speaker and the camera in place. With those 3 screws out of the way, go ahead and lift up and move the bracket to the side. Now go ahead and remove the 2 Phillips head screws that are securing the ear speaker to the screen. Now we can gently pry the camera over to the left side, lift it up and just push it over to the left, and then pick up the speaker. Here's what it looks like up close. Reassembly. Now let's place the speaker back. Go ahead and align the little springs with the connections on the camera cable and just put it into its socket and secure it with the 2 Phillips head screws on the bottom. With those secure, go ahead and fold the camera back over and tuck it into its socket. Now place the shield right over the camera and the speaker, and then secure it with the 3 Phillips head screws. Longer one in the middle, shorter one in the bottom, and then the slightly longer than the short on the left. Now let's reattach the screen to the phone. Go ahead and align it side by side. First, secure the top, the camera portion, by aligning it up just like you see here and then clicking it in. Make sure you get a nice and firm connection. You don't want this ribbon cable connected crooked. You want it nice and firm. Now go ahead and place the shield right over this connection, and then secure it with the 3 Phillips head screws. Now moving on to the bottom, go ahead and reconnect the digitizer first. Just align the ribbon cable with the socket and then gently push it in. Make sure that you got a nice good click and feels firm and seated right in there. Once that's nice and firm, go ahead and reconnect the screen itself. Align that with the socket and press that in. Now go ahead and place the cover over both cables and secure it with the 4 Phillips head screws. The longest one goes right there on the right. The next longest goes next right there, and then the 2 shorter ones go on the top and bottom. And that's it. It's time to clamp up the phone. Clamping it up is very easy. Just close it up like a book and then apply pressure on both sides simultaneously, and just keep going around and pushing it in ever slightly, and it should start clicking right in. Then go around the contour, clicking in and mashing in the rest of the gap. So just go around a couple of times, make sure it's nice and firm, and now it's time to place back the 2 pentalobe screws near the charging port. Go ahead and load the screws in to their sockets. Then with the screws loaded, go ahead and secure them with the pentalobe screwdriver, and that's it. Now we can go ahead and power on and test the phone. Alright, that comes on. Great. If this guide helped you, please hit like and subscribe, and check out more awesome videos at appledollars.com.